Okay, so today I'm going to show you how you can process the drum bus to improve the overall sound of your drums. You see that this is a more advanced version of the mix, so there's not much going on in terms of the processing of the individual parts, just a little bit here, some compression, and there's a little bit there, EQ and channel strip. Okay, so the main focus here was to organize the music. I have decided here what I'm not going to use in the silence track, so these things that I decided not to use in this song. And here there's the drum bus, which is what we're going to talk about. Okay, so in the drum bus, what we have the stock plugin from Ableton, which is the drum bus plugin. Then I'm going to show you what they are doing, and also these other ones, which I'm going to show you. Okay, so here's the track. Okay, so what this one is doing is basically it's making it a little bit more soft, as you can see on this setting here, and also on the damp. Okay, so if we remove this, it's going to be a little more harsh. See, so it's taking out a little bit of the treble down, and it's making this drum bass sounds a little bit more mid and low. Okay, so this is useful. I usually don't like to push the low. I think it creates some artifacts which are not good. So one way to really make the low sound nice is to remove the highs a little bit, like here, very subtly. Learning how to produce well can take a long time, and time is important because if I didn't have the skills when I had the opportunities, they wouldn't be there. And I would have missed some of the most special things that I've done in my life, like making a soundtrack for the Olympics and working with some of my heroes and things like that. Especially if you have a demanding job, it's even harder because where's the time? So if you want to have more guidance, click on the link below. I'm going to be making more videos like this. And if you're serious about learning, every once in a while I open some spots for some more dedicated, personalized guidance where I can understand where you're at, where you want to get, and what's missing. And we can make a plan for you to get there in a few weeks. And then there's this Refinement plugin from Brainworks, which also doing a little bit. It's working very little. There's almost nothing here, as you can see. Okay, so it's very subtle. Yeah, depending on the system, it's going to be hard for you to hear. But it's very little subtle difference that when you add up all the differences, then you get the result. Okay, this reverb, and the reason I like to put reverb on drums, and of course you have to be careful which frequencies you're going to use this, is to create a cohesiveness, because if we look at the drum bus, there are many parts, so you have a mix of loops and hits and many things from different places. And basically what the reverb does, it creates like it's as if all these sounds are from the same family, because it creates like an ambience for the sounds, and in a way like if they are like all the same. Yeah, let's see the results. So it has the effect of creating a little bit of a room ambience for the sound. You can hear like a little bit of the reverb, but also it also dampens a little bit, a tiny little bit. So you have in different places here a little bit of damping, removing a little bit of the high end and leaving more of like the bulk of the drum sound. Okay, so here this SPL Transient Designer Plus. It's an excellent plugin. Let's see what it does. Okay, so what's doing here is sort of cleaning up the drums. So there's a lot of excess sound, which is taking all the spectrum, and we want the music to breathe. So here, and this is a matter of taste, you can do this. You can make the length of the drum parts longer in terms of the duration of the hits. I like to make, for this track, I like to make them a little bit shorter. So what I did is I removed a little bit of the sustain using this plugin. Which I think gave it a little bit more elegant result. Okay, and here we have the bass control. I have the mono up to 500, maybe it's a little bit too much, but it also cleans up the track and leaves space on the sides for the rest of the song. This track has a lot of elements, and there are a lot of elements on the sides, so I decided to make the drum more centered so that there's space for the rest. Yeah, it sounds alright also without this, but anyway, I think it helps a little bit. This one is interesting. It's an Oxford Dynamics expander. And the interesting thing about this one, what it's doing, it's giving some charm for the drum beat. So without this, a little bit straight. And with this, it's more like, it's got more personality. Let's see. See, I don't like when it sounds like a drum loop, like you just put a drum loop in the track and it's like a straight, the same thing. And what this expander is doing is giving a little bit more like a charm, and it's like it has more dynamics. Yeah, that's what expanders do. It's giving it more dynamics. So when it hits, it's a bit harder, but when it doesn't, then it's a little bit lower. Yeah, it's more of a feel thing. So I think the beat feels nicer with this expansion going on. All right, so that's it. This is an example of what you can do with the drum bass. At the end of the day, there's no hard and set rule. You have to feel that it's the right thing when you experiment. And I felt that for this track, this version of the mix, this is where I got. Okay, so here you have an example of what it's possible to do with the drum bass and some examples of how to use these plugins. And I hope it's helpful to you.